I have a great relationship with the blacks. I've always had a great relationship with the blacks.
So I know y'all think that black people love talking about racism, and it's not because it keeps our teeth white. Truth is, people of color face a much different reality than white people. And that's especially true when encountering the Republican-designed criminal justice system. I'm Kareem, and do Republicans hate black people? Let's take a look at a particularly bad to be black state, Florida. Even though African Americans make up only 16% of Floridians, they're incarcerated at a rate that's 400% higher than their white counterparts. That's right, Richard Corcoran, Speaker of the Florida House and Florida Governor Rick Scott. Until y'all fix all that racist mess y'all got going on down there in Florida, neither of you will be invited to the cookout on Sundays. It's incredibly difficult for folks to get their voting rights restored upon their release from prison. The Florida legislature, yes, the same body of folks that voted in favor of the Stand Your Ground law that let George Zimmerman get away with murdering Trayvon Martin. In their 2018 budget, there was a $9.1 million or 40% reduction in mental health treatment, a $1.6 million cut from transitional housing services, $7.6 million cut from substance abuse services, $6 million from therapeutic treatment, and $2.3 million cut from re-entry centers that provide basic education. So basically, locking us up isn't enough. You gotta throw away the key to make sure we never get out, and then take away any available resources so that rehabilitation remains a myth. Thanks. But let's not beat up Florida too bad, y'all. I mean, Florida did give us T-Pain, Pitbull, and my personal favorite, Plies, baby. I kind of understand what Chameleonaire was talking about when he said, "Police trying to catch me riding dirty." As this chart shows, police are 3 times as likely to search the cars of stopped black drivers than stopped white drivers. Nationally, black drivers are also more likely to be pulled over and less likely to receive a reason for being stopped. In one Rhode Island study, black drivers were stopped more even though they were less likely to receive a citation, meaning they're stopped for no reason. Yes, people, driving while black is a real thing. The crazy part about it is that being rich, famous, or even an innocent grandma won't stop you from being pulled over and getting your ass beat as the police drag you out your own car. Just ask 65-year-old Mrs. Rose Campbell. Maybe the solution is if all black people just took more public transportation, right? Good Lord, I wish it were that easy. Cause that's not the only problem we've got, y'all. Let's talk about drugs. So police arrest black Americans for drug crimes at twice the rate of whites. Okay, and before you spew out one of your racist little, "well, black people just do more crime" comments, let me make this very clear. According to federal data, meaning data obtained from your national government, studies have found that whites use drugs at comparable rates and sell drugs at even higher rates than blacks. So how does this make any sense, y'all? White people literally make up over 75% of this country, but somehow black folks are the ones who are overpopulating the prisons? Well, in order to make sense of this, I'm gonna have to give you a brief history lesson. Okay, so once upon a time in the early 1980s, poor people wanted to get high off cocaine just like rich people, but they couldn't afford the high price that came with it. Poor folks discovered that if you mix cocaine with baking soda, add a little water, heat it up. I mean, I don't know the exact recipe, I'm just taking an educated guess here. But if you mix cocaine with other white substances, then you'll have much more drugs for a drastically cheaper price. Thus, crack was born. And while crack and powdered cocaine are made up of the same exact base drug, people who were arrested for crack possession who happened to be black and happened to be poor faced far harsher penalties than white people who were arrested for powdered cocaine possession. While a black person found with only 5 grams of crack cocaine faced a 5-year mandatory minimum prison sentence, a white person holding powdered cocaine could receive the same sentence only if he or she held 500 grams. 500, y'all! I mean, good Lord! In 1995, the US Sentencing Commission concluded that the disparity created a racial imbalance in federal prisons and led to more severe sentences for low-level crack dealers than for wholesale suppliers of powder cocaine. As a result, thousands of people, mostly African Americans, have received disproportionately harsh prison sentences. The Fair Sentencing Act of 2010 was an act of Congress that was signed into federal law by US President Barack Obama that reduced the disparity between the amount of crack cocaine and powder cocaine needed to trigger certain federal criminal penalties, and it also eliminated the 5-year mandatory minimum sentence for simple possession of crack cocaine, among other provisions. And here's the main point. Republicans have fought reform on all these issues, every single one, every step of the way. Want to know who sponsored the Fair Sentencing Act? 16 Democrats to just 6 Republicans. Look, people, racism is a real thing. And just like y'all might be tired of us black folk talking about it, we're tired of living it. So since we're all tired, let's just go take a nap. And when we wake up, everything's gonna be all peachy clean and rosy and nice. Psych, no, I'm just kidding. Don't go to sleep, y'all. Stay woke and stand up, because like my friend Donald Glover or Childish Gambino said, this is America. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe, and remind your friends that things are up, y'all. Thanks for watching.